Alright. Welcome back, guys, for a match 3 and week number 1. A little bit of Terran versus Terran. Alright, in the bottom left-hand corner, we have, from TG Crew, Eugooglizer? Eugooglizer? I will call him Eugooglizer. And in the bottom right-hand corner, the Teal Protoss. Wow, already losing my mind here. It is the Terran Pieces of Tracker. Now, TVT could go one of two ways. Some guy decides to proxy them Reapers. You know, some kind of proxy play. Someone decides to play mech in a bio, or it's going to be mech versus mech, and it'll just be a long game. Also, this is easily one of the more stressful matchups in this series, in StarCraft 2, in my opinion. Like, the matchup hit in terms of like stressfulness, just watching Terran versus Terran sometimes really is enough to make me not want to play this matchup ever. So that's why it's my #1 most stressful matchup. And probably PvP. ZVZ, in my opinion, is actually a lot of fun, so it's not that stressful to me. But when it comes to Terran versus Terran, you know, it could turn into a stall fest so quick, guys. Like, games can go on for 40 minutes, plus it just becomes a ridiculously long matchup. And an exhausting one. So far, Reaper follow-up with that factory on both sides. Gonna go ahead and get that reactor started. Interestingly enough, no Reaper to start this off for Eugooglizer here. So he's probably going to kick up the double Reaper production as soon as that reactor finishes up. But the first one is already out here for Tracker, so not a whole lot can really be done right now. It's like, you know, I imagine he's going to wait. I imagine he's going to wait for a second Reaper and then get the Hellion out. Which, interestingly enough, will make this, yeah, I guess exactly what's going to happen here. Going for that starport. Double Marine production, so it looks like we might see a bit of a 1-1-1. Look for a second barracks to come down here. No second barracks just yet, so it looks like a 1-1-1 opening, getting that siege tank. There we go. Second Reaper, 3 Reapers, and a Hellion. Now, this is pretty much your standard TVT opener right here. I've seen it lately. It's just, you know, 2 Reapers, couple Hellions, and push across, see what you can get done. It just applies a little bit of pressure, but so, you know, at this point, this might not see a lot done, or get a lot done either. Mainly because of this 1-1 opening, which means you have Siege Tank. Liberator coming out here. I imagine he's going to send that Liberator straight across the map. But here we go. Here comes that push from the Reapers and the Hellions. Meanwhile, we do have starports. Factory follow-up. Now, I like the position this puts Eugooglizer in with the siege tank. So you can siege that tank up on the high ground, have a little bit more firepower here. He will catch us out. One Reaper does get picked off. Mine, great, being tossed out there to get a little bit of that room and get out. This Liberator coming out here as well. Might just follow up the army. He's just going to rally straight across the map. Another grenade going down. Now, this is bruising up these Marines quite a bit. Every one of these grenades it hits is going to, you know, soften these Marines up for the defense back home. You will get another Marine. So 3 Marines in the tank are remaining. The Liberator on the way, though. They'll be able to start zoning things out. Cyclone coming out as well. Provide a little bit more of that anti-air. It's also a Raven. I love the Raven here. We're going to be able to disable that tank. The Liberator gets sieged up on top of that. Cyclone just barely gets... Ooh! Doesn't get out. I was about to say he just barely gets out that Cyclone, but no. Does get picked off by that siege tank. He's just going to slowly crawl forward here. Eugooglizer taking the initiative on the push. Bunker down. Not going to help much here. Because Marines can't shoot that far. Meanwhile, the tanks, however, are going to be able to do just that. The SCVs being pulled to repair that. You don't need to scan at this point. Cyclone does pick off 1 Marine. A Raven coming out here, but it's not going to be enough. Viking is already here. And Eugooglizer just, you know, pushing Tracker right into the corner of his map, saying, no, mate. You don't get to go anywhere here. You thought you could play a standard opener in Terran versus Terran? He continues to push forward. Now, this is where things get interesting as a Terran player being sieged. Because as long as you can hold this ramp, you can kind of stall things out. But with this many tanks and liberators, that wall is not going to last long. Yeah, we already see that push coming. Eugooglizer just continuing to shove his way forward. Once that ramp falls and gets to the main base here, Tractor's going to be even more in trouble. As soon as these tanks are positioned up on the ground, there we go. First tank on the way up. You should see the GG coming here. Yep, there it is. 1G, 2Gs. GG all around. And that's going to be it for game number 1 as Eugooglizer just shoves his way forward. And pushes Tracker right off the side of the map. Alright, let's get back over here, get this up. There we go. So did it open up the next one yet? I don't know. Alright, there we go. Alright, here we go. Game number 2 in this best of 3 series. Eugooglizer up with the lead. Moving into Everdream LE. Well, where are we going? Get back over here. Alright, there we go. Why is my Discord overlay on the stream enabled? What? Get out of here. Alright. Good luck, have fun being thrown out from both sides with the U2 here, who already over. Alright, so here we go. Eugooglizer in the bottom left-hand corner, currently up 1-0 in this series. Looking to, you know, secure it, get that win for week 1. Always a good feeling to have that week 1 win. And his opponent in the top right-hand corner going for that gas. Alrighty, alright, this could be interesting. We have Tracker. Just look at this mini-map here. Uh-oh. There's the depot. There's the gas. First barracks on the way. Will it be proxy reapers or proxy marauders? We're going to find out. A little bit of oversaturation there, Tracker. There you go. There you go. Good eye, good eye. Barracks on the way. Now, the barracks for Eugooglizer, I do believe, started up a little bit faster, so that's a bit concerning. That's the first Reaper will be able to get out. You know, you don't want to fall behind here in a Reaper count. This is where things become a... How well can you stall your opponent's push? How well can you sandbag it? Because I love the fact there is a SCV scout here. Now, he needs to see everything. He needs to check the entire base to be sure. He's going to check everywhere. I like this. He's actually looking everywhere. He didn't check the corner. Now, the reason why I'm pointing that out is because you can just move your barracks somewhere else in your main and get away with it. Because a lot of people, you know, will get up there at the top of the ramp, see there's no barracks immediately at the top of the ramp, and go, uh-oh, oh my gosh, we're getting proxied. But no, it could be a bit of a mind game, you know. You just mind game your opponent a little bit and be like, nah, man, there's no push coming. Just move my barracks. Just move that racks to a different part of my base because I liked it there better. The feng shui was better. A bunker coming down at the front. Not knowing where this push is coming from, and you opt for Marines. This bunker needs to be back. This bunker needs to be in a different spot altogether. The first Reapers are coming up here. You know, that bunker's actually not bad. I take that back, because that bunker is kind of like right there in a controlling part of the base. But, you know, if you can just bypass it with the Reapers, what are you going to get done? What are you shooting? What is he shooting? Oh, he's shooting his factory! He's like, oh, yeah, I think he realizes the mistake, though, because you tried to pull the SCVs. You got to pull the SCVs to the bunker. There you go. This is a good way to hold. Get that first Hellion out. This is a momentum push. Now, what's funny about this is he knew the push was coming, but he didn't know where from. He didn't know exactly where this push was coming from. He's going to jump out here with that Hellion. Alright, get the repair. Get some of the SCVs back to mining. There you go. You start to stabilize a little bit. The initial shock and awe is over with. You can start to hold here. Oh, but don't let that first Hellion get picked off. You need these Hellions. One Reaper does end up falling. A second will fall as well. This Hellion trying to get in here. Oh, yeah, it's a little bit of a mismanagement on your units here is definitely going to cause a little bit more damage to be done. He will clean up all the Reapers, so all the Reapers have fallen at this point. There's only one more on the way. Has he stopped producing them? I'm surprised he hasn't stopped producing them at this point. Does he have a follow-up? CC and a factory. So, overall, a little bit of damage has been dealt. 5 Reapers. Reaper gas. You know, you're a little bit behind on your tech now because of that. It's tough to say right now where this is at, but if he dives back in here and manages to crack the front this time, I foresee this not going Tracker's way here. But at this point, he's just pulling up the Reapers. He's just pulling. This is what he should have done to start. I say this because, you know, if you push, the location of the push isn't scouted, you have a little bit more time. You know, your opponent may have a Hellion out and may be able to get a few more units out to defend, but if you jump up that cliff with, like, say 6 Reapers initially, it's a little bit more devastating. But you will get in here and be able to clean this up. Now, this Cyclone, however, will get one Reaper down, and he does manage to push off the cliff, so he will be able to get back into that main base. Another lock on here from the Cyclone. I would much rather just see him chase with the Cyclone and try to trap these Reapers in to get that repaired down. He is trying. He needs to get the repair. Right. Tracker, don't scare me like that, man. Don't scare me like that. You got it. You got this. You just need to calm it down. Just relax a little bit. Start to play your game. You held off 2 pushes here. The second one didn't get nearly as much done as the first one. So you know you should be ahead here right now. Command center on the way. I would like to see an auto turret from that Raven. Looks like he is attempting to send out. He's actually looking for it. The barracks from earlier. Which, you know, is on the other side. No, I want to point that out too. I like the positioning of these barracks, but there was no way to actually get in besides coming all the way around this cliff. So maybe the rally was also a bit of a problem there and slowing that down. We do have a scan being thrown down to see exactly where Tracker is at with his tech. Does know an expansion is being taken. So both sides trying to get the economic game rolling here. Eugooglizer going to send this Liberator on out. You know, I would love to have seen that Raven be sent out across the map. It would have been a little bit more of a gamble, as the gas and tech cost there is a little bit different versus the Liberator. We do have a siege up on the south side here. Not totally locking this base out. Definitely a little bit of an annoyance, but you can just kind of mine around the side. The 2 Cyclones going to come down here and pick up this here Liberator. I love free units. Free units make everything so good. Reactor being added on. Let's see. We have a little bit more mech focus here with the bio. Looking to double up on that siege tank production, which is going to be pretty big, actually, because, you know, 1 factory versus 2. And TVT. He who has more of that said building will have more of that said unit. If you follow my drift. I don't like this idea, Tracker. I do not like this idea. Do you know what your opponent has right now? Yeah, see, this is not good right here. So, this is buying time. This bought a lot of time. Got push from Google or Eugooglizer here. Definitely bought a lot of time in the initial start stage. Tracker is a little bit too scared to move out now. He doesn't know what his opponent has after holding off that initial push. He's definitely behind in tech and overall production, which in that case, is allow Eugooglizer to climb back into this game. Usually after some kind of reactor or proxy play like that, especially in the lower leagues, you know, there's a good chance you should follow up with a push. Especially after you hold it, get a couple units, just get out of the map. Your opponent is not going to have a whole lot to defend with. But now, however, the tank production is up. We got medevacs out, marines out, and you have these 3 cyclones and a hellion. You're not going to get a lot done. And you just, yep, lost 1 raven already. Medevacs will get cleaned up here. However, these lost 1 raven. You lost the majority of your army supply. I mean, you're already behind there. So, yeah, this is not going to go your way. See, that's not going to stop him. He's just going to keep coming. So basically, going back to what I was going on here, not knowing where your opponent is at tech-wise. The scan that Eugooglizer threw down earlier told him he's got this in the bag. Because his production was key. He got his production back up. He got his economy back rolling quickly. But Tracker, I think, was a little bit too shaken from the initial push. Now, this tank on the high ground is going to be a bit of an annoyance. But will not be enough to clean this up. Scan up there we go. He is having to burn scans, which is big. A little bit of miscontrol here from Eugooglizer, throwing away all his marines, trying to pick off siege tanks. Oof. Big oof. Anyway, now there's a little bit of lull. Let me finish up my topic earlier. If you would have thrown the scan down on the main, I understand you're trying to get caught up economically to need the mules, but a scan could have been a lot more valuable there. Because you can see exactly where your opponent is at in the production before, you know, 2 cyclones and a hellion would have got a lot more done earlier than now. Sieging up the low ground. So this is where he's gonna Tracker's going to start to try and stall this out. However, his opponent is just going to expand up to 4 base. He does have a 3rd down already behind this push. I'm a little bit worried here. There's a 14 army supply difference. That's a lot of siege tanks. Try and take your 3rd now, and you're going to fly that right into his army. All right, let's see. Let's see how this plays out. All right, Tracker, you're about to push in here with that army. You lose your tanks. Viking will clean up the medevacs. This base is going to have to try and get out. Marine is getting some damage done on it. Scan being thrown forward. Now we do have some kind of air unit here, so he doesn't have to burn his scans. But the Viking's going to be landed here to hold this. Where are the rest of the tanks? Oh yeah, that's right. He lost them all. Yep. That'll do. That'll do, lad. We'll try to land that Viking in range of the siege tanks. These Marines is getting a lot done. Scans being thrown down everywhere. I like the positioning of the siege tank here. It's going to be able to start to get a little bit more done. They're trying to defend. But GG will be called out. Eugooglizer securing the 2-0 victory in week number 1. I'll be right back with more for you guys, so stay tuned for a final match in week 1, and then I'll start pulling down week 2 games for everyone.